Hey, how you guys doing? Alright. Okay, dokie. Let's do this to it. We're going to be going over the London system versus the Benoni. Alright. Oops. Okay, oops, sorry about that. D4, knight f6, knight f3, e3, bishop f4, c5, c3. There's also a line with b3, bishop b6, knight c3, bishop takes, and b5, and this is the with the Benoni attack right there. That's the setup there for this fork. But the c3 allows so that if queen was to play here, you actually have queen b3, knight c, e3, d5, knight bd2, e7, e2, and then castles, and it's equal position. So if he goes knight h5, queen takes, bishop goes after the pawn on c7, bishop d8, bishop takes, and knight b3, c4, knight bd2, c6, and then a3. This actually doesn't work anymore because the knight's not trapped. You can always just move your knight and you're good to go. So what happened is he played knight c5, d5, which is actually a dubious move. It's not the best move in the position a lot, so you don't want to actually do that. We played bishop g3, pawn takes, and then bishop b4 is also a dubious move. Usually what is played is queen b6, queen c2, knight c6, and then e3. This is usually what's played in the Benoni London system. This is kind of a little too hyper. It's knight bd2 and then f5. This is kind of like going for a big attack. So e3, castles, and then bishop c4. This, if we could, we can castle at this point, and then potentially trade off, and then they have a weak doubled pawn. So see, f3 is all f4. It could be played. Knight, bishop h4, queen b3 or b6, f4, knight e5, f takes, castles, he takes, and then now there it's equal position, but we have more development, so we're better in that line. Knight f6, a3, bishop e7. If you take, the queen takes, knight there, and then e2. This surrenders the two bishops. So white now has the dark square bishop, and white will be playing on all the dark squares. And since the dark squares are weak right now, this actually is much better for potentially the knight could take, and then you can actually take back and have a rook attack here. So about equal. A3, bishop E7, D5, kawam. E takes is actually a better setup. Queen A2, B5, and then now this is what we're gunning for right here. This type of a setup. But D5 and knight takes is not what we're wanting. Bishop takes and pawn takes. Now these pawns are doubled and they'll become weaknesses in the endgame. So by us surrendering our light squared bishop, the potential for this bishop to come out is pretty low. Also, a lot of the pawns are on light squares, so we're good for now with our opponent as white. And there's actually an outpost that we can plop a knight into right on D4. Knight B3, we just took the pawn, so we're up a whole pawn now. King H8, knight B2, that's good. Taking here isn't the best, it's dubious. Even though we get another pawn. See, he's got 4. Hey Frank, how you doing? Even though we're up a pawn, it's just not worth surrendering the 2 bishops. So we don't want to surrender the 2 bishops. That's why we play knight BD2 in the Benoni, the London versus the Benoni. A4. Castles was a mistake. Here at this point, bishop takes B8 is actually best. Queen takes, rook takes B8, knight F5. Now we've actually gone up a pawn here. Knight, and we're gonna be trading off a knight for one of these bishops, which will help us in the end. Bishop takes, knight G5. Oh man, smother mate, loving it. We set up a smother mate. Knight FG. Yeah, takes, queen. And we have enough counterplay. If he takes, we can actually take, and then we can get we're up in exchange here. We're just dominating at this point. So if king B8, this goes towards the smother mate. You gotta love it. You have to love that. The smother mate is you gotta love the smother mate. This is a mistake though if you were to play that, because B5, and now black has neutralized white's play on the queen side, and so it's equal, and there's nothing really that could come to pass, and now it's an equal position and both sides have play. I don't think, oops, sorry about that. I don't think I would have done that. Castles wasn't the best idea. It's a safety move, but it doesn't do anything for the queenside expansion that we're going for. Knight A5, exclam, queen C4, knight C6, rook AD1. Queen B6 is, they're trying to take scope on this pawn here. Rook D2, D5, attacking the queen. Queen C2, Queen A2, and this is also to get B5 in. Rook C1, C5, Rook B1, and then C4. This was actually a really surprisingly a really good move, because if we are to take it, they can reconnect their pawn chain again, and in theory, it's an equal move. We are like, forget that. Knight takes, and bishop F6, knight F3, b5. And now this move is kind of very cramping for for white. We really didn't want that to come to pass, but it eventually was going to. Knight e5. What you could actually play here is takes and takes, and you have bishops of opposite color. So in theory, this potentially would turn out to be a draw for black and white. And it's going to end up being a draw. But they tried f4 here, which was an interesting try, trying to cause a little bit of damage there. Bishop takes, and bishop f4, f5. That was actually to get the bishop involved, so that this be a kind of a problem. Rook d2 is a mistake. Knight takes. Sorry, right here. It takes the rook. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Takes. And then queen d. And then b4. This now ensures a slightly better game for white. Very slight. So knight, rook d2, rook takes, queen takes. Should be knight f3, h, knight d, takes, rook takes. It's funny, e takes is actually a really strong move, so that when when everything gets traded down, we're up a whole pawn right here. So this is actually a better for us to have, benefit for us to have. But he took with the rook, and then in came the rook to c2, or d. Takes, takes, bishop takes, and king f1. King g8, king e2, king d2, bishop b, king c3, king, and then king c, bishop c4. I don't, at this point, I really don't see any advantage for black or white. I think this is about an equal game. Slightly, very slightly better for white. I don't really think there's much better. It's probably a 0. Yeah, I was right. It's slightly better. Yeah, you'd have to start maybe playing a4 and our h4, g4 setups. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready? Is everybody ready to roll? Are we ready? Let's do it to it. Alrighty. Are you, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. I was just wondering. Perfect. Yeah, because I just wanted to make sure that we're at a really good point in our tactics, and I want everybody to have an opportunity to, be able to put in their lines if they wanted to. Good. Okay. Let me see here. I'm looking. Any good moves here? Let's see. Queen takes F. Queen takes F8. If knight takes F8. Knight D6. Oh boy. Boy. Let me see. Let's see. Knight F6. Knight F6. Check. And if King H8. Oh boy. Let me see here. It's either Queen takes F8 check or Knight F6 check. Okay. Interesting. But we're down actually a piece in this line, so so knight f6, king h8. But if he moves, so knight f6, king h8, h takes. Then we're probably gonna, we may need to slightly change the move order for knight f6, check. If king h8, bishop takes g6, h takes g6, and then queen, queen f4, huh? Interesting, so I'm thinking that that might actually not be a bad idea, the queen f2 line. Let's see, knight f there, h5. I'm thinking yeah, bishop, queen f4. I'm thinking is the move. Queen f4 has to be the move at that point. All right. I'm thinking knight takes h5 here. Knight takes h5. Knight takes h5. Queen takes f4. Knight takes f4. And we're up like 2 pawns, so I'm thinking we're winning. I think we're totally winning in that line. Queen e8 allows for knight takes f4, and even if rook takes, we're still down material. I'm thinking, let me see, rook e8, knight takes f4, rook takes, king g7 forks the rook and the knight, so that wouldn't work. Yeah, I'm thinking knight takes is the only way to stay ahead in that line. Okay, now we need to play queen e5 check, and then we move the knight. Queen e5 check, and we move the knight. And then knight g3, and I think we're okay at that point. Bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, rook takes b6, queen takes b6. I don't know. I think we actually lose a piece in that line, don't we? Bishop takes e5. Bishop takes e5. Oh, we don't. Sorry, rook takes b6. That's right. Sorry, queen takes b6, and then queen to e8 check. King goes to g7, and then queen takes e5. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. There has to be a reason. What's... Well, this was a... drat. Yikes. Let's see. Knight takes e4. Queen takes e4. Bishop takes c3 check. Knight takes c3. Queen takes c3 check. Knight d2. Queen takes a1 check. I'm not sure. Huh. Knight g4 is interesting too. Yeah, so I'm having to rethink that. Knight g4, bishop takes b4, queen takes b4, c3. Let me see here. Knight g4, bishop takes b4, queen takes b4 check, c3, knight takes e3, fc takes e3, or sorry, yeah, c takes b3, sorry, knight c2 forks the rook. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe this is the move here. Oh, really? Oh. Dang it. Ah, that was my fault there. Really? Okay. Let's see here, here, there, and then mate. Ah. Okay, we can't. Okay. 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 There. If I take, it's a mistake if I take, because queen c3. He would have to play potentially rook here. Yeah. Let me take, and then c3. Queen takes. You know, you never know if they'd play a move like that though. So okay, let's get our we'll get it back. Don't worry. We just got to not be hesitant to, like, great job on that find. I I didn't know they were going to go straight into a losing move like that. I thought they were going to play c3. I went on automatic at that. I didn't think they were going to do that. That's crazy. But I have to remember that the computer's going to play out certain lines, so we'll get it back. Okay. Okay, knight f7. King takes f7. If queen f3, knight. Okay, so let me see if let's calculate this line out. Okay, knight takes f7. If king takes f7, which is forced, queen f3 check. Yeah, queen f3 check. If king goes to g6, bishop takes d5, and now the knight is pinned to the knight's pinned to the rook. So knight takes d7, queen takes d7, queen f3 check. We have to keep the checks before I can get bishop e6, and so I think we're still fine. We have enough time. We have one move. Yeah, let's do it. Boy, he went right up the board. You don't get to see that every day, do you? Knight C, knight to C3, knight C3, pile on the pressure. Yeah. E takes d5. Let me see. Knight takes d5. Takes d5. C takes d5. E takes d4. Okay. takes d5. C takes d5. E takes d5. Yeah. Well, that I'm not sure if I'm missing some because they have all their pawns. We're down 3 pawns. I don't know if that would even scratch the surface. E4. We can't go knight f5 at that point because of queen takes the c7, I think. And I think he would just take our knight too with his pawn. Either way, the knight, he would probably take our knight with his pawn. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's right. Nice. Okay, the queen's almost trapped again. Hooray! We almost win another. We almost win another queen. That'd be really nice. Let me see here. I'm thinking rook g8, queen h6. Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. No, I was thinking rook g6, but then he checks, so I don't think that's right. I was trying to find the correct line there. Rook h7. Okay. Yeah, because I was looking to see which rook move. Rook h7, king, queen g6, g5, rook h5, queen g, queen g7, and then bishop f. I think you're right. I think that does win on the spot. Queen g5. Let's see, nothing. Yep. There we go. That I was just looking to make sure I wasn't missing anything. I'm thinking potentially a7. That covers a7 covers the check. Then if rook a3, I don't think rook a3. He might play bishop g2, bishop g2, then d7, then rook d3, king e7. I'm not sure. Does that win? I think that wins. I'm pretty sure that does. What do you guys think? Yeah. Oh, I got it. Guys, it's this. It's d7, rook d3, knight h 3 check. If king takes g4, knight f2, and we pick up the rook. d4, rook d3, knight h3, king takes g, and then rook f2, and we actually after king f3, knight takes d3. come on, don't stall me now. Hold on, let me see. So do I don't have, let me see. So is D7 the next move then? Is D7 the next move then? That's what I'm proposing. D7. Okay. Okay, knight h3. If king h4, knight f4, and then we check, yeah. Knight f4. Then we take, we check, and then we queen. We queen, right? Am I right on that? I just want to make sure. Oh, come on. It's A1 or A8 equals queen, right? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, whoo. Yay. Because I know it holds that, I just didn't know if it was good to turn into that. Great, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. So we saw it all the way through. Hooray, we're doing good now. We're doing good. Right. Oh boy, let's see. He's threatening mate on f8, so we don't want to we gotta be quick and fast with our attacks. Let me see. Knight e6. Let's see here. Oh, wait a second. Knight e6 doesn't mate because it allows him to go knight e6 is not the best check because king d3, and we don't have any more checks. So I'm looking at knight takes b3, knight takes b3, check. Knight takes b3. No, that can't work either. That wouldn't work. No, that'd be a bad move. Knight. Yeah, that's right. That was fast. Nice work. Yeah, we it was one of those checks because we were mating one if we didn't do anything, and if we tried to trade our knight off the queen, we wouldn't get enough material. So great work there. Let's see here. Let me see. Rook c2, or is it rook a2? Oh, queen. It's bishop b c3. I believe it starts with bishop c3. Let me see. Bishop c3 check. If king b3, king b3. Ah, I don't have anything. Darn it. We don't have anything after that. Yeah, I was looking at d4, but I think he'd be okay sacking his rook. I think because if he plays rook takes d4, and then we played bishop d5, rook takes d5, and I think that's what he'd be planning. If we played bishop d5. Oops, did I put in the wrong thing? Oops, sorry about that. I think I put in the wrong. No, I did right. Check. That's right. Yep, I did that right. Yep, I just forgot to put a check on b5. And then takes, and our opponent would still be up enough material. So it's ooh, the rook's on pre. Interesting. I don't think he could take, so I think you're right. I think you're right in that line economy, because if rook takes if rook takes d4, bishop takes d4 would be playable in that line. So I think we'd be okay. I think we'd actually be winning material, and then that other rook over there would be hanging, and so I think we'd win in that line. I think bishop c3, king b2, or king b3, d4. If rook takes d4, bishop takes d4, rook d1. We have bishop d5 check, and queen takes d5, bishop and e takes d6. So it'd be this line here. hold on, let me do it right. Bishop C. I just had to think about it in my mind for just a second. King B4, and then D4. If rook takes D4, bishop takes D4, rook D1, because the rook's under attack at that point, discovered by our bishop. Bishop D5, check, and then queen takes D5, and E takes D5. I think are we more than equal material in that line? I think that's the line. Am I on the right track, Economy and Frank? Am I going down the right line? Okay, what do you think? Let's give it a go. Sorry, I don't want to guess. What am I thinking? It's bishop a6 and n, right? Wow, it's kind of bonkers. That's interesting. Huh. Come on. Sometimes computers can be a pain. I was surprised that line didn't work though. That was kind of a different line to say the least. I thought for sure our line had some teeth to it. Okay, let's give it a second. All right. Sometimes my computer gets a little bit slow. It's like, for real? Are you serious? Come on, work with me. We wanna check the line out. Okay. I don't know why, but it sometimes doesn't want to pull up the board. Maybe it's something to do with that. I'll just delete that out of there and see if there we go. It might have been too many tabs. I can't believe 4 tabs would be too many though. But hey, maybe just one too many, right? All right. Oh, that's the problem. And we can't take because of mate. Ah. Did not see that. That was a tough one. I'm looking at Queen F7 check, King D8, Knight D5. If Queen, we'll say C1, C1 check, Bishop F1, F1. Then maybe we can try Bishop F7 check. If King D8, I don't know about that. Queen F6 check, King C7, Knight D5 check. But I think he runs at that point. Yeah, it has to be mating. It's got to be a mate somewhere. Oh, you win the queen? But is there still, is there still enough material though? Dude, does he still have enough material though for counterplay? Yeah, I was just wondering because he's still got 2 rooks. We traded 2 rooks and a bishop, and we get a queen. So I'm thinking that's 13 pawns. Especially he's got an extra. Let's see, 4. He's got 14 pawns for the queen. I was thinking, let me see. Queen f7. Let's take a look at this. Queen f7 check. King d8. Queen f6 check. King c7. Knight d5 check mate, I think. Knight d5 is checkmate. I think it's checkmate. Let's see. Bishop f6. Let's see. Bishop f7. If king d8. Queen f6 check in there. Yeah, it'd still be mate. But if bishop f7, king f8, queen bishop e6, king e7. No, I don't think that. Yeah, I think economy. I think we have to do economy's line right here. Watch, f7 check, king d8, queen f6 check, king e8, bishop f7 check, king f8, bishop takes, g6 check, king g8, and then queen f7. I think mate. Is that right? Yeah. Excuse me. I always figure this. Nothing is too much time. As long as you're learning and improving, that's what matters. Let me see here. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's see. Check. Rook takes b2. King f1. Do we win a rook here? It's kind of odd. Let's see here. Rook takes b2, check. King goes to f1. Queen takes e3. I'm not sure. Is that right? I think that is, because that would hold the e6 square. So all I can see, I don't really see any blocking moves, so queen takes e3. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Feels like a smother mate here, but I don't see it yet. Oh, queen f4 looks pretty in your face. Queen f4 looks in your face, but I'm not sure if he has g3. So if queen f4, g3, g3, and that's a headache attack right there. So, boy, bummer. Not fun whatsoever. Oh, he tasty. Okay. So e takes d5, queen takes d5, queen f4. Well, couldn't he play if we e takes d5? Oh, I guess you're right, because that would be mate if he tries rook f1. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. That does throw a kink in the works here at knight. Yeah, he can't play knight d5 because of knight f2 check wins the queen. So the queen has to take. Then queen f4. Let's see, knight f2 check, king if king g1, bishop h3 is mate. So knight f2, king g1, knight f3, king g2, queen. Well, that wouldn't be mate. I was looking at something comparable to I think queen f f3 check, king g2 or g1, and then knight h3 is mate. I think that's a mate. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. That's funny. That's silly of me. Yikes. I can't get there yet. That would be mate, wouldn't it? But I had to get my pieces there first. That's funny. Okay. Let me see. I gotta stay. I gotta stay, as they say, in the present moment, just for a second to see into the future. Let's see. Queen f2. No, that wouldn't. Knight. Okay. Let's see. Knight f2. King g. If knight f2 and king g2, bishop h3 is mate. So basically, knight f2 check, king king g1, knight h3, and then king g2, and there's nothing after that. So we probably want to play knight f2, king g1, h3, king g2. So what line do we want to go with? Bishop f3, queen f3, king g1, knight knight e3, bishop g8 check. I guess I see that you're trying to go for a mate. But rook f1 would be a problem, wouldn't it? Let's see if we played, no, queen's on f3, that's right. So even if rook f1, that would be mate. Yeah, so queen f3, check, king g1, forced, knight e3, knight e3. I don't know what he does. Maybe bishop f1. Then rook f1 loses. Rook f8 loses. Oh, rook f8 wins. Oh, you're considering rook, huh. Man, this is a, okay. So we're going with queen f3 check, because I don't see a win for rook f2. Or is there a win? Let me see. Okay, is this looks like potential bishop h3, but I'm not sure if that's the right sequence we're looking for. Oh, wait a second. What am I thinking? Duh. Queen f2. Queen f2 check. What was I thinking? see. Queen f2, king h1. Probably knight knight g4 after that. That can't be right. Would that be right? Maybe we're up material after queen f2 check, king h1. Yeah, let's just, I'm thinking it's, yeah. How does it continue though? I'm interested in that. How does that continue? Ah, bishop g4. It's bishop g4. I knew there was a kink in the works. That is interesting. Okay, that is interesting. That was interesting for sure. Wow. Hmm. I think it's equal material though, right? Oh, you win. Okay. That wins a pawn, but is there anything better? Because knight takes d5, c takes d5, knight f7, king takes f7. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that's yeah. You got it. Nice work. Let's see here. Boy, there's two tempting moves, but if bishop takes d1, queen takes d1, queen takes g8, queen d5, and then king g1, queen takes e5. So the bishop move is out of the question. Bishop takes out of the question. So queen takes g8 is interesting. But how do we continue? There's also a check. There's also queen c2. Queen c2, c7. King e6. Then we don't have anything after that. Queen takes g8. Rook d3. So, I want to take the material too, but there has to be a problem. See if queen c7, king e6, bishop e4, and we almost have mate. Almost. The queen would take back though at that point. The queen would take back at that point. I think if queen takes g8, rook rook d3 though. But I think then we could play bishop e4. I think, and we'd be okay at that point. Let me see some. Bishop takes c6. If king takes c6. Queen c7 check. If king d5. Queen takes f7 check. I think this is the move. I think we got the move. I think that's it. Hey guys, what about this? What about this line here? We win the queen in that line, and then the king has to go up to c6, and then queen takes b3, I believe. This is the whole continue. Oh, let's see, come on. And then here. Oh, snap. Really? I think I overcomplicated it. Drat. I thought for sure that would work. Oh, king e6. Oh, okay. That's that's the problem. He doesn't have to take, so we just take there. Ah, it doesn't work. I was so happy with this line here. I forgot he actually doesn't have to take, but if he did take, this would be the line here. This is what I saw. So yeah, queen versus 2 rooks is not good enough. Drat. That was my fault there. Irritating, but you know what? We'll get it back. We'll get it back. Just go with simplicity. I've kind of learned that with these puzzles. I went a little too complicated. But you gotta sometimes, when you're on the edge, you have to do that. Like in Top Gun, you have to go till a Mach 5 and your hair on fire. Oh, I like the term berserker. Let's see here. Let's see here. Knight takes d6. Queen takes d6. What are we missing? Ah, there it is. Yeah. Silly me. Let's get some of our points back. Rook takes e1. There's rook takes e1. Rook takes e1. Or, yeah, rook takes e1. Let's see, hold on just one second. Rook takes e1. f6, f3. Oh, I think we win a piece, don't we? Because the bishop's hanging. Let's see here. Rook takes e1, f6, bishop, bishop d3, I think. Oh, that is true. That would work. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Wham. Oh, wow, he did that. Oh. Holy ravioli. I'm thinking that is it bishop d3? Is bishop d3 winning material? Oh yeah, you're right, because gotcha. Ooh, that would hurt. That would hurt. Ouch. Yeah. That could be. So rook takes g3, h takes g3, bishop there. No, I don't think. I think that works. I think you're right on that one. I think the line works. Rook g3, h takes g3. I guess you could play f takes g3, but bishop h3 still works in that line anyways. Yeah, I think it actually works. Yeah, bishop h3 at this point. Rook takes the queen. Yeah, we'll try one more and then we'll just do one more. We're doing good here. I'd love for our queen. I'd love to play queen d7. This would be what I'd love to play. Queen d7 is what I would really like to play. Trying to see. Queen a3. Nope, queen a3. That's not good. That bishop covers a3, so we can't do that. The queen's almost trapped. So is there any way to trap the lady? We're so close to trapping our lady. Well, let's see. Knight takes e4. If knight takes e4, I guess we do have rook. We could play rook f7 mate, so that would potentially be mate there. Let's see. Knight takes e4. Queen takes c4. Knight takes. f6. I'm looking at your line there. Okay. No, we wouldn't be able to make any progress. We wouldn't be able to go any further after that. I don't think there'd be any way to Bishop d3. I was looking at that. Bishop d3, Queen c5, and I think that holds. I think if we played rook takes f6 here, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen takes d2. I think he'd play queen takes d2. And then he's covering all of our checks. But your bishop's hanging. Your bishop's hanging at that point, though, on f6. Your bishop's hanging on f6 at that point. We'll see if you, let's see here, let me make sure I'm visualizing it right then. So you're thinking after that, bishop d3, g takes f6, and queen d7. Huh. Oh, I see what you're thinking. You want to actually ensnare the you want to do a discovered check and win the queen. Okay, I see what you're saying. You want to actually, well, we can't really. The bishop guards d6, so I don't know if that line actually would. Well, maybe. Let me see. Queen checks there. Oh, could, because then we could play. Well, no, I don't think so. Huh? What are we missing? I'm starting to go along with economy with queen to e6. Queen e6 might not be a bad move. Because then we can actually move our queen and snug it in after queen e6. Then we can actually play queen f7 check, and we're winning. I like your idea, economy. I'm thinking that queen e6 might not be the move that actually tips the iceberg. Because that covers that actually covers f. See, queen e6 does a couple things. It covers the bishop on e5, and it sets up for bishop to d, potentially bishop b3. It sets up for bishop b3, which then the knight's almost on pre. So we have some attack going. So let me see. Can he actually do anything after that? He could play knight takes f2. Rook takes f6, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen c2, queen e. Oh, you're thinking there? Oh, I was thinking queen e6 right away and snugging ourselves right into the attack, but I'm thinking that can actually be held by knight g5. So queen e6, knight g5. Huh. So rook f6, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen there, queen e6. What line are you thinking about economy? Covers d8. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Let's see. What was it? Don't tell me it's not. Not that. Okay. Not there. Not that. I'm puzzled. No. Let's do one more and then then I gotta log. Come on, we got this. Okay, knight. Okay, we have our pieces piled pretty nicely. Say knight takes c3, bishop takes c3, knight takes c5. Huh. So knight takes c2, or takes c2. So knight takes d2. Yeah, that would hang our let's make sure that we're seeing this right here. I'm trying to let me see. I think that is right because knight takes d2, rook takes d2, and then queen c7. Would that? I don't know if that's right because then I think he's got rook to c1, and I think he holds. Well, that's what you're thinking? Let's see, knight takes d2, rook takes d2. So then, yeah. Knight takes c5. We don't want to do that, so we can't do that. Knight takes c5 is a bad move because that opens up onto our queen. Boy. So knight d2, rook takes d2. Let me see here. Queen g4. No, we don't want to do that. So let me see. Knight takes d2. We're thinking about knight takes d5. Would f3 hold at that point though? Oh, you have a knight there already. Yeah, that's right. So let me see here. Rook takes c3. Queen takes c3. Or he could just play rook takes c3. Queen takes d2. And then queen takes d5. f3. Rook takes f3. But I'm not sure if not sure what to do after. How are we a piece up though? Let me see. Rook takes c3. Queen takes c3. Well, I guess we would be, wouldn't we? Yeah, I guess we would be up a piece, wouldn't we? Let me see. Let's count. Rook takes there, there. A threatening mate, so yeah. Yeah. So the next move is rook takes c3. I'd probably say that. Are we on the right track? Rook takes c3. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. And then queen takes bishop. Okay. We'll call it on that. Alright. Do you have any questions? That was a crazy one. Wow. Any questions? Well, they're gonna get harder because we're moving up the ladder, and we're not afraid of hard, because that actually makes it so that when we get them right, we get more points. Yeah. So, any other questions? All right. Thank you all for logging on and helping. Sorry about that one. That was a tough one. That was a 2886. So, but we got to learn from it. It's about move orders, so we have to consider all different types of move orders. Like life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. Remember that mistakes don't define you. It is how you handle the mistake that defines you. There are no limits. There are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. Knowing is not enough, you must apply. Willing is not enough, you must do. So we have to be okay with that. You know what? We don't know everything. The Lord does, though, and that's the blessing about that. And I like what Bruce Lee said: "Is I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." I think that's very powerful. With a lot of the blitz games and all this stuff going on, it's tactics that are very vital in that position. So you have to also keep the correct mindset. We become what we think about. I truly believe that. So if you think negative thoughts like you can't solve a puzzle or this won't happen or that won't happen, it eventually will come to pass, because what happens is, I remember on the little engine that could, that Rusty says, if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. Either way, you're right. That's kind of how that works. If you think you're a winner, you're gonna fight to become a winner, and you're right. If you think that you're not a winner, which would be a sad thing, and we're chess crunchers are winners because we think positive. But if somebody did think that they're not a winner, eventually they would not play to their best of their abilities, and then what would happen is they'd lose a game, and that's happened to a lot of great players, that they get into that mindset. It's what you're being inundated with. If it's negative, then you're going to start thinking negative thoughts. That doesn't mean, though, because there were some grandmasters who played in railroad stations. So it's not the environment, it's the mindset. So it's if we can, because you can be around negativity, but if you, my chest cruncher friends, will do what we all always do, which is we hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study when most won't we do, and that makes all the difference. That'll wipe all that mindset away. And then you can tell them, like when people ask what's a Tigger, you can say what a chest cruncher is then, and that'll be a great tool for spreading chess and the love of the Lord. But like what Yazur says, and we'll end with this one thought, is every long journey begins with one small step. So our journey begins every day when we sit down and study, and we then the long journey is our goal of what you want to become in your profession, or if you want to go for your GM, which would be a great thing. I hope you do, because that it's a wonderful thing to have always. And you have to keep striving to honor the Lord in that field too. And that's one thing I've learned along my way, is that He's the one that empowers you and gives you the strength to endure through all the tournaments. So just keep the good fight, my friends. And as Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll keep pushing forward, onward, and upward to our 2500 level marker. Those puzzles were hard, but we can endure. Great job, Go Team Chess Cruncher. And if you're new and you just logged on, you like what you see, click follow and join us on our journey to becoming better in chess. And all right, so, and I hope to see you again. So be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.